Hello! We are back. It's been a minute. That's for damn sure. We have a Ruins of Alph puzzle here. That said Ho, I'm pretty sure. I think the other one said water. Oh, great. This one is, slightly more complicated. That's for damn sure. Nope, that's wrong. Whoops. So last time, I believe the last thing I said, don't quote me on this, was we were going to talk about Smeargle, and we might as well talk about it since we are sitting here doing a stupid puzzle. So Smeargle is a normal type, not very impressive in stats, doesn't evolve, it's basically a Dunsparce if you really want to get serious about what it can actually do, though it's a little better. So what's really special about Smeargle, I don't know where that goes. What's really special about Smeargle is it's the only Pokemon capable of learning Sketch. Well, the only Pokemon through normal gameplay that's capable of learning Sketch, because there is a glitch that you can do, but that's besides the point. Give me a second here. I'm just gonna... I think I fucked up on the top. But... yeah, I think it's the top. Yeah, okay. But, Sketch allows you to copy the, enemy's Pokemon last move it used. So you could have a Smeargle that can learn Sacred Fire if you fought a Ho that knew Sacred Fire and used it. And Smeargle somehow lived. So in theory, it can learn any move. By the way, that unlocks more unknowns to explore and catch, which we will not be doing. We're going to be surfing around this episode. That's basically it. But Smeargle can learn any move possible. It's commonly used to get sleep moves, and then it's usually sets up hazards, and that's basically all it does. But it makes it a valuable doubles partner in earlier generations. Now it's kind of fallen by wayside. It's still useful. It's just not as used as it was. Here it kind of is garbage because even here, like, yeah, you can get Sacred Fire, but why would you do that? Smeargle's a very niche pick. It's better than the Dunsparce by a mile, in my opinion, because of its ability to learn every move. But the problem is you won't want to catch it this early because there's no good moves for it to learn at this time. It can't get... especially on an in-game team, I don't see it as a viable solution to any of your team's weaknesses, no matter what you do. We're not doing Dark Cave, but we are gonna go to Cherry Grove. The reason we're not doing Dark Cave is because you kind of can't get far without Strength, and we don't have Strength yet. That is in Olivine, if I remember. It's been a while since I've played Crystal. And Gold and Silver, actually. I've played Crystal more recently, but... well, technically I've played Crystal the most recent because I'm playing it right now, but you know what I mean. We will just collect berries because... reason. The reason we're going back to Cherry Grove, there's a little surfing part that we have. Over here, it gives us a Mystic Water, which is the same as Charcoal, but water version. Very complicated, I know. But... so, I guess I will talk about the Pokemon we're going to run into once we get back, all the way back to Ecruteak and head west, because that's the next point we're supposed to go. Technically, we can head east and do a bunch of stuff, but the order I want to do in is going west. Now, west, you hit actually technically 2 routes. Which is really weird because it looks like the same route and it should just be 1 route. I think you change from 10 to 5% in some encounters, but I don't really understand the point. Is there anything over there? No, I'll remember all the surfing spots. That could be an issue. I'm gonna turn that down. I had my phone on, and I turned it off. Well, not turned it off, but turned it on. So, back to what I was saying. Going west, you're gonna hit a new route with a bunch of new Pokemon. And this is kind of harkening back to, all the conversations I've had about bad normal types or good normal types and why you should wait. It's because we have, in fact, 3 new normal types to be caught here, and 2 of them are old fan favorites, and then 1 of them is a hated enemy from the normal gym. And if you can't guess what Pokemon that is, you are foolish. But I'm going to talk about the normal types, and once we get to the route, I'll talk about the other stuff that's there. But this just gives me something to talk about while we're surfing around, because there's not a lot. Though, I don't think I ever talked about Krabby with the old rod, but Krabby sucks, so it doesn't really matter. So, we'll talk about the fan favorite anime Pokemon Meowth. Meowth is a fast Pokemon, evolves in Persian. Same time as Jinx. Or Smoochum into Jinx. And Elekid into Electabuzz and so on and so forth. So, it evolves alright. It's pretty fast. It hits alright. It has a great amount of, I didn't mean to talk to you, dude. No, I don't care. Please, stop. Dick. But, it has a great amount of TMs it can learn. Thunder, is it Blizzard? I don't think it learns Fire Blast. I rarely use Persian. It's a good Pokemon, and it's not a bad normal type, but the other 2 that are there just far outclass it, and it's worth the extra 20-40 minutes just to go find one. And those 2 are Tauros and Meltank. You get Tauros for the power, and you get Meltank for the tank part. That's basically what it is. They both hit extremely hard. They're both, have their own skill sets. Meltank is more, healing, tanking, kind of dwindling down your opponent. It doesn't hit as hard. While Tauros, as I proved in Red, just kills everything physically. If it doesn't kill everything, then you either use Blizzard back then, which I did because I'm an asshole. Didn't work out against the Dragonite, but dreams are ruined. Come on. That last square? Really? Waste of free experience. But, so, Tauros and Meltank are both on the same scale of excellent normal types. They're probably the best normal type you're gonna get here. You know, I just want one thing in life, tentacles to not supersonic me and hurt myself in confusion. Acid. That's a physical type attack too. I'm done. Gengar. I probably should have gone and healed, but I'll just use a potion because I don't want to waste time. Or no, I'll just potion. But overall, Meltank has a special healing move called Milk Drink, and I learned it relatively early, which it heals quite a bit. Sorry, surfing music. I really like the surfing music. We'll use potions. I don't think I'll need a Kulava for these 3. I think this is actually the last surfing thing we have to do. No, that's not true. There's a couple things, but I'm gonna wait on most of them. Or I'm just gonna ignore them. I'll come back to them once I remember them if I forgot them. But this will be the last surfing thing, and then we can move on. But Meltank, overall, great tanking Pokemon. Learns a variety of moves. Its special stat isn't that great. But, you make do. Tauros has a worse special stat. Higher speed. Yeah, higher speed. And higher attack, though. So, it's more capable of taking down enemies than Meltank is. So overall, all 3 of the normal types that I mentioned on that route to the west of Eckerteak is a very good choice, actually. If you're a fan of Meowth, go ahead and pick that up. It's a decent team member. I think Tauros and Meltank are a tier above it, but overall it's a decent choice. And really, what's the worst that you could? What's the worst you could do? No, what else would you choose over the other 2? This thing shouldn't live. Wow. You know what sucks though? I'm gonna point this out. So right now we're fighting like mid-20s Pokemon. We're gonna head to Olivine, and we're gonna be fighting a bunch of stuff that's barely in the 20s because of the way the level curve. They wanted you to do this after Olivine, but the problem with that is you can do it before you leave like Eckerteak. It doesn't. I really hate Johto. Not because it's a bad region. Okay, that's not true. Not because it's a terrible, terrible region, but because it's laid out like they cut it in half somewhere and then flipped it upside down. Which I know is not true, because a special attacker and you use Harden. Were we really in a speed tie? Okay. But it's laid out, like, the progression. I understand the levels, the way they are, is because you go to Kanto in this game. And that's fine. But my biggest issue is there's some stuff they could have totally avoided. Like the surfing expedition being... I mean, we're fighting a level 26 Starmie. We're going to go back to fighting Machops, and a Mr. Mime is going to be the highest thing from what I remember. Like, and just to give an idea, the 5th gym has a Poliwrath and a Primeape, and then the 6th gym has a Steelix, which is great, thank you for giving me some difficulty, and 2 Magnemites. You couldn't have put one of those as a Magneton? I understand the Steel type is incredibly hard to counter at this point, but in the 6th gym you should have maybe a Water type, which sucks for the Magnemite, so, okay, I understand them being Magnemites, but it kills Steelix. You can whittle down Magnemites, they're not that bulky. I don't understand this progression. Like, we had decent progression with Falconer. Okay, it was a little weird having a Pidgeotto that early, but you know what? You needed a flying type. I would have put Farfetch there, but you know what? Level design, I guess. I'm switching. I don't care about experience right now. But, and so that's fine. Then we go to Bugsy, and we have 2 second evolutions of the bugs, which is weird. And then we have a Scyther, which is cool. I'll get behind that. It's a weird choice, but you know what? I like Scythers, so you know what? Good on them. And then we go here and we fight a Meltank, which at this point, I'm just checking real quick. Hold on, do you have anything? Oh, Soft Sand. That's same as Mystic Water or Charcoal, but for ground moves. So I knew there was something here. I didn't remember if it was, I talked to you 13 times at this point. No. How do I go from 3 to 13? But, god damn it. So, I'm gonna end this here, and I'll probably pick up relatively quick next time with my argument of why progression is so weird in this game. And in all Pokemon, really. But here, it's especially annoying. So, next time we'll be... Actually, good stuff. Next time, I will actually be back in Eckerteak, or wherever I need to surf, if I remember that. So, till then.